Alright, you get the gist. Everything on screen is what the story contains. Please, if you are not fine with these things, well, anyone should not be fine with these. Please, don't listen to these, or just, I don't know, watch my other shit. It's fun. It's entertaining, hopefully. Well, hope you guys enjoy, and let's go.
Bright red eyes. The time of Yin's confident was nearing an end. As the days flew by, the slayers noticed the hair-colored woman to sting herself more and more. Her odd behavior caused her comrades to grow worried and even more desperate to see her. Ever since she read her ancestors' journal, she made it her goal to find a solution to the curse. Though she was confident in her abilities to protect herself, Yin couldn't shake off the nagging feeling in her back of her head. She knew that she could handle any person affected by the curse, yet the idea of constantly being on edge did not sit well with her. Because of this, she decided to avoid everyone while searching. Unfortunately, there were a few times she failed to evade her fellow demon slayers. The moon had just risen, and the Phoenix Pillar was on her way to her estate. Just as she arrived to the Phoenix estate, a small figure squeezed her from behind. Her body immediately tensed and craned her neck to see who it was. Yin's eyes made contact with little Nezuko's. Her round pink eyes glowed with happiness as she cuddled into her. "Yin-san, it's been a while." Not too far from them, Tanjiro called out. He walked towards them and smiled, seeing his little sister so close to the hair-colored woman. "Hello, Kamado-san. It has been. Unfortunately, I'm quite busy, so I must get going." Tanjiro's kind smile faltered, his heart clenching at the distant tone in her voice. "I understand, but before you go, take this, please." He handed her a large, wrapped bento. I cooked some food for you. You shouldn't neglect your health, even if you're busy." Despite being aware of his observation, Yin couldn't resist any angelic smile and accepted his bento. Pulling away his sister, who was I'm dyslexic again. I can't read this dang. Reculate to the part with her, Tanjiro waved goodbye. The Phoenix Pillar gave a small wave back before entering her estate. The man turned away, his Hanafu earrings swaying. As the two siblings walked, Tanjiro noticed a familiar crow flying towards their direction. "Nezuko, isn't that Yin's crow?" Tanjiro watched as the crow came closer, heading towards the direction of the Phoenix estate. A sense of blood rushed over him. His fingers twitched anxiously. He must be going to give Yin a new mission. Thinking of the hair-colored woman leaving to go on a mission, he began to panic. When the idea of her never returning crossed his mind, he couldn't hold back any longer. "Nezuko, grab the crow." Immediately, the small figure launched into the sky, her sharp nails piercing the crow's wings. The crow cawed loudly in pain. Tanjiro clapped as she landed. "Good job, Nezuko," he complimented. Patting her head, the small demon nuzzled into his touch before handing the injured bird to her brother. The demon slayer calloused hands gently received the wounded animal. Looking at the bleeding crow, Tanjiro felt a bit of sadness. He pet the bird's feathers. "I'm sorry, little bird, but I can't risk you putting Yin in danger," he said resentfully as his hands began to tighten. The black bird struggled within his grasps, wings flapping violently. With a swift motion, he turned the head of the crow. Snap! The crow stopped moving. He walked over to a nearby tree and dug a small hole with his hands. Tanjiro placed the crow inside the hole and covered it. He then clasped his hands together and bowed his head, praying. A certain boar-headed demon was training vigorously when a few of the demon slayers had passed by. Their rambunctious conversation caused the demon slayer to grow curious. Pausing his workout, he turned his head and listened closely to what they were saying. "Mean the Phoenix Pillar? Yeah, it's a shame she was replaced by that snake. Right. I love watching her demon strats. I agree. Watching her workout was the best. She is so sexy. I wish I could see it underneath her uniform. In a second, the shirtless slayer was already at their side. Inosuke could feel his heart pounding in his ears, his head throbbing from clasping his jaw so tight, nails digging into his flesh so his rough hands. All he could see was red before blacking out. When the boar-headed demon slayer finally came to, a strong metallic scent wafted up, and beneath his feet, looking down, a deep red covered his bare hands and chest. Not too far from him were the three slumped figures. Their arms were twisted in different ways, nose cracked, and eyes swollen. Inosuke was unsure if they were even breathing. Seeing the gruesome scene, Inosuke was unfazed. He grunted, wiping the blood onto his pants and his uniform. This strong smell irritated his nose. Beneath the boar head, Inosuke's beautiful features smirked up in disgust. Quickly leaving the scene, he rushed to hid his body of the disgusting smell. Yin stood in front of a large slate, grasping the small journal within her hands. She lifted the other and knocked on the door. The door slowly revealing an old woman. "Hello, how may I help you?" Yin offered a sheepish smile. The hair-colored woman explained how she discovered a name within her ancestors' journal. Searching for the name, she had landed to this home in front of her. "I know it seems odd, but I was just wondering if you had anything that may be related to my ancestors, any journals or information I can pay you to?" The Phoenix Pillar explained the woman to shut the door on her. However, the woman offered a smile, her eyes winking and opening the door wider. "I understand. That name does sound a bit familiar. Follow me. We have a large library here, and we're welcome to anyone who browses it." Yen followed the woman through the house before coming across the room. "I must warn you, though, my son spends most of his time reading in there. Just try to keep quiet. He doesn't like to be disturbed when he's reading." The hair-colored woman nodded and slightly entered the room. Despite her silent footsteps, the young boy's head snapped up. Yin's eyes met bright red ones. Upon seeing the hair-colored woman, the eyes' pupil began to expand. Yin's heart dropped. Despite the boy being a great deal smaller than her, she could feel a danger radiating off of him. "Demon!" The Phoenix Pillar whipped around, a warning struggle to leave her lips before a large appendix came from behind her, piercing the old woman's throat. The woman choked and splattered up blood, rushing back to her neck. The appendage pulled back and appeared behind the Phoenix Pillar. The old woman collapsing to the ground in a puddle of blood. Yin quickly unsheathed her katana, turning around as she watched the small boy transform into a tall man with black hair growing taller. "It's a shame you tried to alert her. She wouldn't have met such a terrible end." Yin gulped, focusing the fear creeping up. Back down, she quickly shot out one of her needles. The demon sighed, effortlessly flicking them away. The Phoenix Pillar's eyebrows pulled together. She hissed, irritated by the demon's smug appearance. The hair-colored woman inhaled deeply and controlled her breathing. As she explained, her eyes burrowed down, forcing again. The scene before her became clearer than ever. The demon's body now see-through. Using this to her advantage, she launched forward. The demon watched with admiration as the girl rushed towards him. He was about to dodge when the woman changed her path, quickly piercing into his shoulder. Eyes widened in surprise. He retreated a distance away. The demon's gaze grew serious. The latitude of his shoulder quickly disappeared. Barely any blood spilled before it closed. As he watched her carefully for the next moment, the demon noticed a fire within the eye-colored eyes. Seeing her beautiful face pulled into a look of determination, a word flashed across his mind. Perfection. He felt that word suited her well. The woman before him was embellished and perfectionist. Well, almost. The sweat running down the sides of her neck and the little wounds that littered her skin showed him that there was nothing missing. Muzan Kibutsuji decided that he would be the one to fix that. With speed faster than her eyes could comprehend, the large appendix slashed into her head, knocking the demon pillar out cold. The red-eyed demon strutted over to the unconscious woman, carefully lifting her up. Holding the woman up with one arm, he lifted a pale hand to brush the hair strands away from the face. The sound of a biwa pierced the air, and their surroundings changed. The eyes focused on the beauty in his hands. He felt a slow smile spread across his face. It seemed that amidst his search for the envious blue spider lily, he found something that would become equality as important. Today we have 2 Taisho era secrets. Yin's crow is named Kami, meaning blaze in Japanese. And I think Tanjiro is in a bit of a mess because, well, Yin was the one who raised that crow from the day it hatched.